All right, so this is the male reproductive system. Isn't it lovely? So the big thing that they like you to know here is that this is the testes. We've always called it testicle, but for some reason, I don't even know why, we call it testy or testes in biology. And you just have to know that that is where sperm is made. All right, that seems to be the big thing they like you to know. Other things that are just interesting is that the sperm, once it's made, it travels, you just follow this tube all around, picks up some semen fluid there, and then it goes out through the penis. Urethra is where your urine comes out. So here's your bladder, and the bladder also sends urine out through the penis. Okay, so it's the same tube, the urethra, that sends out urine and sperm. And so that's kind of different between men and women. And right here is the prostate gland, which if you older men, sometimes like it gets inflamed, and you can think like if this gland right here that's right around that tube that sends urine out gets inflamed, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to be really hard to pee, because now this inflamed little ball right here is now squeezing this tube and making you have to pee, but it's hard to pee because the bladder is kind of, the tube is being blocked. All right. So that's really the only, or prostate cancer. That's really the only time you ever hear of the prostate. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers, is also most curable, and also sometimes makes men feel like they have to pee. And they can't. So the big thing, really, what you have to know for the regions is that testes is the male gonad. It is where sperm is made. It's where the meiosis, here it is, it's where meiosis happens. Meiosis does that double split to get you down to 23 chromosomes so that that sperm can get together with an egg to make a baby. It all happens here in the testes. It's all because sperm is made by meiosis. So if you could just know that sperm is made by meiosis in the testes, that would be really good to know about the male system. We also have hormones. You need to know about hormones, but you don't really need to know all these specific names. But I'm sure you've certainly heard of testosterone. That's the male main hormone. But they also have luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone that do all this detailed stuff that you don't really need to know. But the whole thing that with all these hormones, what we're trying to achieve is constant sperm production. All right. The other thing that the hormones do is that they cause like secondary sex characteristics, deeper voice, muscle development, facial and body hair. You've heard of that in puberty class, right? Or whatever, health. But you don't really have to know that. But it is good to know before you graduate high school. Here's this whole picture, and you want to know where everything is, right? You want to know that this is the penis, and this is the rectum, and this is the testes, and this is the bladder. But what they, again, really are concerned about is that you know that this is the testes. It's where the sperm is, and the sperm gets sent through around these tubes, and it goes out through the penis to do fertilization to the egg. All right. On to the next. So sperm production, it happens in the scrotum. The reason that male reproductive organ, like the testes, hangs out of the male's body is because it's actually a little bit too warm inside our bodies for sperm. So we actually need it a little bit colder to make sperm. So that's why the male testes hang outside the body inside a scrotum. Isn't that lovely? See, so much fun we'd be having if we were together for this unit. There are little tubules in the testes. It travels through these like tubes, and it picks up some liquid so that when it leaves through the penis, there's like the semen that it's part of. It goes through your urethra, which is the same place the urine goes, and the ultimate goal is for it to be deposited into the female reproductive system, aka like through sex, that the sperm will make it into the female reproductive system to fertilize that egg, right? All right. Let's see. Anything else about the male? Oh, vasectomy is really interesting. So the reason it's called a vasectomy is because you are cutting the vas deferens. So if you don't want sperm that's made in the testes to make it out through the penis, the urethra of the penis, what do? Well, you take this tube that it travels through and you cut it. So that's exactly what a vasectomy is. You take the tube and you cut it. You don't remove the testes or anything like that you would do to a dog when they're neutered. You simply take that